take it away.
All right, so how do you normally, when you do it, do you like talk directly or do you, like, I don't want to, like,
I think it's a good mix. I think you would ask a question to me and I'll kind of respond partly. And then you should do a mix, or we can also turn ourselves a little more towards the back of the table.
okay,
So we're like opened up to it.
that's, all right,
Does that feel better?
yeah.
Put that next to the top.
So. All right, so we're here finally.
Finally, so let's do like, 10, 15 minutes, so we have enough going. Introduce yourself, your podcast, what we're doing, and then me.
All right, so this podcast, Operation Ground Truth, it's a place for people to tell their stories, and my thought on that is like, I've other people's stories have helped me, so I wanted to, the people that don't like to talk about the stuff, I want them to get out of their comfort zone like I did, and it actually, it helps as I don't know, crazy as it sounds, it does help to at least tell your story. And at the end of the day, your story could help someone else with their issues or whatever. So that was kind of the idea and how I wanted to shape it.
Nice.
Still working all that out. Right now, I'm a program manager for MVOC in Gardner. Run or manage Unity House, a 15-room transitional housing. I've been here 2 years.
And what's MVOC stand for?
Montezut Veteran Outreach Center. Yeah. It's a lot of words.
So you want to, write yourself
Yeah.
correct, yeah.
Okay. So you've been here 5 years, you said?
Yeah, it'll be 5 years in May.
And what is your role here? And
Sure.
who tell us a little bit about you?
So I'm Dr. Stephanie Marchetti. I'm the executive director here at Montezut Veterans Outreach Center, much more easily called MVOC for sure. And I oversee the entire organization, which means I am in charge of making sure, one, we have enough funding to operate and operate indefinitely. We've been in operation for over 40 years, so we've got a big legacy to maintain. I make sure all of our properties are operational. A lot of people don't realize how many properties we have. So we've got 6 housing properties now with 50 units of housing, and we are building 44 more in Winchendon. So the oversight and operation of all of those. And then I oversee all of our staff. So while I'm not everybody's direct supervisor, I've kind of got a hand in it because we're a small organization. So we're only 23 employees here. So I oversee all of that. And then, like everybody else, other duties as assigned. See what the day brings.
So what got you into working with veterans? Do you have like family with that are veterans, or what brought you here with all of your
Why am I
credentials?
here? So both of my grandfathers served in the Korean War. Papa Jackie was in the Navy. He actually spent the Korean War, his time in the service of it, in California, I think it's San Diego, on base as a medic. And then my Papa Jim was in the Army. He was a combat veteran during Korea. He actually was overseas when my dad was born. He didn't meet him for like 8 or 9 months after he was born. And I think he was a bugle player too in the military because he had the bugle hanging on his wall. Neither of them ever talked about their service, which I
Understandable for that time period.
yeah, and I didn't realize that till I came here, that you might just not ever know.
Right.
And then, I was in high school when 9/11 happened. And so I had a fair amount of friends sign on after that and join the military. So that's kind of always in the background. And I think everybody has a story like that, right? Everybody's got a grandfather, a friend, somebody they know. Where it really came into play with me is actually before I came here to MVOC, I had about a 20-year career in public higher education. The last 12 years of it were all spent at Mount Wachusett Community College, right down the road from here. And I think just by nature of my work and my personality, I worked a lot with veteran students there. I did a lot of teaching classes for people who were the first in their family to come to college, or college returners, which were a lot of people using military benefits. I taught a speech class for a while, which is a class nobody ever wants to take. But what was unique about that is I taught it during winter intersession, and students on veteran education benefits have to take classes in every semester that a course is offered.
Right.
So I would teach a 15-week speech course in 15 days. And that would by nature be mostly veterans because they were the only ones that were stuck having to take it. And then my last couple of years at the Mount, I worked in academic support and testing services, which means I also managed the accommodations for anybody who had testing needs, which were a lot of veteran students who needed to take testing in a quiet, calm environment or had service dogs with them. So I just kind of got into it. Because of that, I was asked to be on the board of directors here at MVOC. So before I came into this role, I spent about 1.5 years on the board of directors. And then when the previous executive director left, it was right about when everybody was going back to the office after COVID and kind of rethinking all of their life choices. And so it seemed like a good time to make a change.
Great. So you mentioned being at the colleges and stuff, and you sit on the boards of maybe a few colleges, universities.
I
A couple.
I do.
What changes should higher education make for veterans?
I think there are huge changes in education that need to happen across the board. And
I know for me,
Using-
I'm not a school guy.
using
So
the veteran population, I actually think would be a really good angle to work because they are non-traditional learners,
Right.
right? Same for
most-
me. Yeah, and same for me. The reason I went into education is because I can't sit at a desk and learn, and I wanted to kind of be a part of changing that.
Right.
And so I think for veteran students, my answer would be the same as for all students, but veteran students are a good microscope to check it out under. We need to be more active in our education. People do not necessarily all learn by sitting in rows and taking tests and memorizing things. They learn by doing, they retain information by doing things. So more hands-on approach. I also think in colleges, they need to create environments that are comfortable for adult learners. A lot of our veteran students don't necessarily want to sit in classes with 18 to 20-year-olds. That life experience isn't always there.
Yeah.
And especially around here, there's a lot of dual enrollment programs, which means high school students in your college class.
Yeah.
I don't think somebody in their 40s who did 3 tours in Iraq and Afghanistan wants to sit with a 16-year-old in biology.
I tried that back in like 07, 09, somewhere around there.
Yeah,
And it was like
don't relate.
being, 30 or almost 30 at the time and like going back to high school. I was like, nah.
You're not looking for 13th grade.
And I don't know, I already didn't like school and I realized real quick that I still didn't. So that didn't really pan out much.
Yeah, and so I think that's important. The other thing that I found particularly working in the testing environment, because that's really where I got to learn more about kind of learning needs that they had, is we've got to work on taking away the stigma of asking for help.
Yeah,
Right.
that's like one of the biggest things that I wanted to do this for was that somebody that might not, one of the words, it might not be comfortable asking for help, but they know they need even to try, I can't compare my story to really anybody else. Everybody has their own. But like when I was in my deepest, darkest, crap days, I just didn't, I don't know what it was. And
Yeah.
it was actually one of my veteran buddies, not somebody I served with, but through groups and stuff, that like literally showed up to my house at 11 o'clock at night and was like, get in my truck.
Yeah,
We need to talk. And I'm like, what's up? And he's just like, what's going on? And I was like, nothing, I'm fine, But that's what started me like
yeah,
being like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
because I don't even know if it's really like a stigma, like you're weak if you ask for help. It is, but it's not like, and no one's ever said that to me.
well, and it
But
doesn't
it's-
even occur to you what to ask for, right?
Right,
Like,
yeah,
I
that's,
think,
yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think one of the things that MVOC does really, really well that I would love to figure out how to show others or educate others on how to do is very rarely do you have to come in here and ask for help.
Right.
I think our staff is really good about just talking you through and figuring it out, and help
Yeah.
is around.
I mean, I work here, and they do that for me, just like just putting things in a different perspective, and I'm like, oh yeah. It's still, I mean, help is help.
Yeah, we gotta figure out how to replicate that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the other things as far as like the VA, because I remember when I was, going through the VA and stuff like that, I always heard like, there's words that you just stay away from. Suicide, homicide, like, whatever, like anything in that realm. You don't want to say that because they'll lock you up.
Then you're put it in their head too.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but the thing is, if you are feeling that way,
Yeah.
tell them. Like, that's, you know what I mean? That's what they're there for. Are you gonna go up to the, I don't even know what it's called now, so lack of better terms, are you gonna go up to the flight deck?
Yeah.
Probably. Is it gonna help you? Depends on how you
Yeah.
do, you know what I mean? Like, it's,
It's
at
important.
the end of the day, it is mostly up to you as the individual, but there are, there are ropes you can hold, you know what I mean?
Well, I think one of the things that our staff all here got really comfortable with, especially when we got the Parker Gordon Fox grant from the VA, is literally just telling people like, if you're suicidal, you can tell me. I'm not gonna take your guns. The people in white coats aren't gonna come get you. Like, it's not the way it
Right,
used to be.
but that's that's the mental of it.
Yeah.
And it's really weird because it's like, no, that's not what happened.
That's not what happened.
You know what I mean? Like,
But us being just comfortable being like, hey man, are you thinking about killing yourself?
Yeah.
Just throwing it out there so we can say like, it doesn't mean I'm calling the cops. It's okay.
and it's,
Get ahead of it.
even when you're trying to help somebody, I've kind of got out of the being uncomfortable with asking that. But it's just like a really like,
It's uncomfortable.
it's like a punch in the face question. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whoa, did you really just ask me that? Like,
Well, and it immediately takes the conversation to a 10.
right.
And you gotta be careful with it, but I just think it's better to ask than to
Right.
not ask.
And again, I keep going back. I mean, there's one of the many reasons why I wanted to start this is because I know too many people that hindsight, probably should have asked, but I try not to blame myself for that stuff,
Well,
but
yeah.
at the same time, it's like, if I, one of my buddies, I talked to him a week before, you know what I mean? Everything was good. Like we had made plans, like, for the something, whatever. And
You don't know.
yeah, and like, you just don't, if you don't see it coming, then it's, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's such
That's a slap in the face too.
it is, it's a really like, it sucks,
Yeah.
and it's, how do you fix it?
Yeah.
So then it was like, other organizations, I'll probably eventually have someone on here, so I don't want to sound like I'm like trash talking them. But the whole like suicide awareness thing bothers me. And like, I get it. I love what they do, but like, me as a veteran and seeing like having lost friends and, having friends that have lost friends and like, it just, it hits everybody.
Yeah.
Even whether you know the person or not, it does, it hits everybody and, like, we're aware. So,
We get it.
so I wanted to try to do something that was more on like the preventative side. Whether it's just like, if I have two views and it helps one of them or both of them, then hey, that's what I'm here for.
I think there's a statistic, I don't get the exact number wrong, but it's something like one person dying by suicide ripples to, I think, 148 people. Like,
It's
crazy.
I don't know
So,
where those numbers come from, but yeah, I mean,
when you think about your family, your friends, your neighbors,
Yeah.
your coworkers, right? Those numbers add up.
yeah, I mean, I'm like with social media, I'm in like a million different veteran groups.
Yeah.
So somebody will put, and you see it, it's like, it's more than 148.
It's a lot.
But it's just,
In the ability for us all to get more, it's not awareness, it's comfortability that we're looking for, right? So, and I tell our guys too, so obviously I don't have the veteran experience, but I have a lot of people in my life that have struggled with addiction. And so, because we're all sober programs here, I will talk about that openly with people. And I will tell them like, one of the reasons I'm here is that I had a friend die because of his addiction and we didn't know what to do. Right? We were in our 20s. He was just messing around with drugs. We didn't take it as seriously as we should have.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's laced with fentanyl anymore.
Yeah.
And then he was gone. And we're all like,
what happened?
well, how did he die of a heroin overdose? He wasn't a drug addict. Right. And that
It's
I think
it's crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
but then I think he was doing heroin. How did we not know he was a drug addict? Right. Like it
Yeah.
was, but these are these things that it wasn't.
but it could have been anything. I mean,
It
if
could
it,
have been anything.
Yeah.
But it wasn't an unawareness. It was a discomfort with the topic.
Right.
And so
And I think that's the
that's what it is.
bigger problem with a lot of that stuff is just like,
Yeah.
oh, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
gotta get uncomfortable.
Right. And
And now maybe
I've
more
been-
people will be allowed.
I've been for a while now forcing myself to get out of my comfort zone.
Yeah,
Public speaking,
did it.
nailed it.
You did.
You know, doing this. I mean, I've never done this.
No, but like, you know, so Garrett won't toot his own horn a lot, but like the veterans in your house are more active now than they've ever been. And it is because you are continuously out there. But you're just asking them to hang out.
Yeah.
And that makes them comfortable.
I mean, honestly, when I came in for my interview, the first day I met you and Will, and you told me that, you know, you just find stuff, even the stuff that you like to do. And I'm like, so you're telling me I can go fishing? Well,
For a living.
I mean, not bad, not a bad deal.
But doing all those things mean on the days that they're having bad days,
Right.
they'll tell you about them.
Yeah.
Because you've seen, sometimes it takes a year and a half
Mhm.
before they'll open up.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
think everything's fine.
yeah, I mean, obviously I'm not gonna throw out names on here, but you know, I mean, there's recently, you know, that, oh my God, I could have done all this like a year ago. My life would have been a whole lot, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, I give them crap now. I was like, you know, it helps that, you know, you come down out of your room and talk to me, but.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
reason I'm here.
Yeah.
But it's important, you know, sometimes, especially with veterans who are really stubborn and won't ask, it takes a year. And you know what? In the long run, 1 year that it took us to get, you know, someone to that point means the next 20 will be better.
Right.
So you get it when you get it.
Yeah. So I wanted to ask you, this is kind of a hypothetical.
Yeah.
If you were given unlimited funds tomorrow, what would be the first program that you would start? Like, what's your vision if you could just do whatever you wanted to do tomorrow?
So, you know, I actually have had this conversation a lot with the board of directors and Will, who's our clinical director here, about making sure we don't grow past our means,
Right.
right? So I think one of the things that works about MVOC is that we are small and we all know everybody.
Right.
So what I would love to say is I would build, you know, 500 more units of housing. But unless I could also add 20 people for every one of those 50, for every 50 units,
Yeah.
we wouldn't be able to do what we're doing.
Right.
So it's a catch. For me, unlimited funds means, yeah, absolutely, we need more housing, but it means being really careful about who we invite to our team to do this work with us and training them up so that it scales at a sustainable pace. And I have to be honest, I would also probably pay everyone a lot more because you guys work
I like that.
hard. It's not that an option. But really, anybody who works in any human services, social work, anything like that, like, you guys are underpaid.
Yeah, I don't think anybody here is doing it for the money.
Nobody is, but it sure helps.
I can't even tell you like my personal life, how much it's changed for the better since I've been here.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know.
I agree. My worst day here is still better than a bad day at some of those other places.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to me because my worst day here is like somebody died, somebody relapsed, which are horrible days.
Yeah.
But they are still days where I'm doing something that matters
Right. Yeah.
versus like a bad day at another job where like your boss is yelling at you over a spreadsheet.
I had to come to terms with that like a long time ago when I got into like helping vets or volunteering with this, doing that, is you can't help everybody. And if you come in with that expectation, you might as well go find something else to do because it's just.
It's not gonna happen.
No.
But then maybe I can't help you, but maybe I can help your family member or a loved one
Right.
around you.
Yeah.
And so again, we got a ripple effect there.
And that the other thing with Operation Ground Truth is I don't want just veterans.
Yeah.
I want that wife or that mother that struggled through their struggle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And tell their story, their side of it, because
Yeah.
you never hear that.
Well, you know, so sometimes when I've got a veteran who is struggling with addiction and I've tried up and down to do everything, one of the things that I will say to them is, I want you to know you might not care about yourself.
Right.
I have to call your mom when something happens. Just know you're sitting here
Yeah.
It is me, and I'm not making this up, that has to call your mom and tell her you died.
Yeah.
So if you don't care enough about yourself, don't do it to me and don't do it to mom. And if that buys me time to get you to care about yourself,
Yeah.
I'll guilt you into it that way.
Yeah.
Because that's often the case, and you know, service over self, right? So you all relate to that conversation in a good way.
So like with this podcast or anything like this, Operation Ground Truth, what role do you think the storytelling plays with veterans? Do you think, I mean, me personally, I think it will help. I mean, even if, like I said, even if we do 100 episodes and one person reaches out and was like, hey, episode 25 saved my life.
Done.
That's why I do it, you know?
Absolutely.
I just,
So what I'm hoping here, right, is I talk about this a lot too when I'm interviewed about like how we are helping veterans now.
Right.
When veterans came back from Vietnam, they all came back at once and they had a network for each other that was built in. You know, people were drafted, you knew everybody who was in. As veterans came back from Afghanistan and Iraq over 25 years, that camaraderie isn't the same. It wasn't like 100,000 of you came back at the same time.
Yeah.
And also the world is so different now that you're not hanging out at the VFW or the posts.
right.
You're not in the motorcycle clubs. Like, we can't find you.
Yeah.
And so with something like this, we are casting a wider net to
Yeah.
say, hey, like, leave a comment and tell us something, you know, give us a call and we'll talk about it. Right. So my hope with this podcast is that veterans in our area or anywhere hear us talking and are like, oh, those people are cool. I can go talk to them.
Yeah.
And if we find 1 in 100 episodes, worth it.
Yeah.
But there's got to be a way to find the younger generation, our generation and younger of veterans, that we haven't figured out yet, because sitting at home alone isn't helping. And even sitting at home alone with a headset on playing video games with your friends isn't a human face to face. There's something so valuable. And I want to sit in my house all the time too. Like, we can't. We gotta go out. I gotta go talk to people sometimes. And it does make you feel better.
Yeah. What have veterans personally taught you throughout your 5 years here, or just in your life?
Question. One is patience.
Patience.
And two is, you know, and I said this earlier today too, is to bring your whole self to what you're doing. If I put on a you know, professional Dr. Stephanie face and made everybody call me Dr. Marchetti, I'm getting nowhere. I'm getting absolutely nowhere. Veterans will see
But they're
right.
veterans, so you might backfire. They'll call you Doc.
Ugh. But they'll see right through you, right? Like,
Yeah.
there is no putting up a facade. It's not worth it. And also I would say it helps if you pick on them a little bit anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the culture, which is awesome. But yeah, I would say one is just personally a lot of patience, just by nature of the types of veterans we serve. And two is there's no point in trying to hide who you are, because they're gonna see right through it immediately and you will get nowhere. And I will say, so when I first started here, because, you know, when I started here, obviously I was 5 years younger, but I look a lot younger than I am. And I'm a tiny lady and I didn't serve in the military. I was like, these guys are gonna hate me. I don't stand a chance.
only the ones that break the rules don't like.
Only ones. But I will say, even some of our good ones that are friendly and accepting, it took me a good 6 to 9 months to get beyond a respectful hello.
Yeah.
Because they had to get to know me, right? And that's part of the patience you learn, right? Like, well, I'm here and I'm not going anywhere. And someday.
I mean, some of the guys in Unity, it's taken me the full 2 years I've been here to get them to.
Yeah.
It's just and plus when you're dealing with so many different personalities, so many different histories and mental health stuff. Yeah. It's a challenge, but
it is.
But I mean, I think it's a fun challenge in a way.
Yeah. And there's
most
nothing,
of the time.
well, and there's nothing to hide, right? Like,
Right.
I can equally, these guys, will wear it on them if they're having a bad day. You can ask and tell them. I can equally do that. Some of these guys will immediately be like, something's off today. What's going on?
Yeah.
Right? And it is. So I think that a big thing that I learned from them here is we can all help each other here. We are all here for help, employees
Yeah.
included. So let's just dive in and dig into that because
Yeah, I
we've
mean,
got ours.
Since I started volunteering, doing anything with vets, really, it's always, it's helped me to help out, like, I'll get some help on something,
Just feel better.
and then I run into somebody that has a similar issue, and I'm like, hey, this is what you gotta do. And it's, then I'm like, yeah, I got him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is, and then, when I go home now and my husband will ask about my day and I'd be like, oh, I gave this guy a key to his first apartment today. That's cool as hell. That's way better than be like, oh, I submitted my quarterly report and my boss liked it. It's good stuff.
So I kind of know, but so maybe you can answer this. How do you keep yourself grounded and balanced with all of,
Yeah.
we can sit here and talk all day about what you do on a daily.
Yeah.
And, it's a lot.
It's a lot. So one is I really do just think my personality compartmentalizes well. You have to shut it off.
Yeah.
And two, I'm really careful about who I surround myself with and make sure it's people who understand it. But I also, I'm pretty regimented until I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we talk about, I'm gonna get a tattoo on a bad day. I'm going to order out, all
Get
those
your hair
things.
done eventually.
Someday I'll get my hair done. I keep trying. But I also I wake up and I do 20 minutes of yoga a day. I have a really specific diet and routine that I follow. Now I didn't for a while and then it showed.
Yeah.
I bought a sauna and I have it at my house.
I got to the sauna tent.
Oh, I got a whole
Yeah. I
thing.
get the
Little
cheap,
pop-up.
cheap tat.
But I will sit because it's cold and it's dark half the year, and I will sit in a hot room with a light on and just be warm and quiet for a little bit.
It is pretty nice.
It's so nice. So it is for me a balance of sometimes I need to do the mental health work that I'm like, oh, I gotta do my stretches and I gotta eat my vegetables. And sometimes I'm like, let's get tattooed today.
I love it. All right, one more. What's the most important thing a leader in veteran services must understand?
My opinion doesn't matter. I have to listen to what people tell me they need. I
That's
really,
actually really good. That's it.
thank you. But really, I could sit with somebody and tell them all I want to, exactly what I think they need to do to fix their life.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter. I think it's really important, one, to shut up and listen to what they're telling you. And two, that when the time presents itself, you offer options. And whatever option they pick, it's important to know whatever choice is made by me or somebody else. If it isn't the right choice, we have an endless amount of opportunities to make a different choice.
Right.
So I think very rarely does my opinion matter. I will give it to you. But
Yeah.
I will never hold it against you if you don't take it, and we'll just try again next time.
Cool. I like it. Get some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
I want to throw out there, just random stuff. Coffee or tea?
Tea, never
Tea.
coffee. Ugh.
Early bird or night owl?
Neither, man. I just want to sleep. Give me a dark room. Let me be
Yeah.
there.
You sort of answered this already, but what inspires you on the hard days?
I just like it here and I like helping these people.
100% agree with you.
Just like it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Will has said, we've talked about indoor cats and outdoor cats. We are all outdoor cats. We can't sit at desks.
Right. No.
We're just not. We're outdoor cats.
You should. I like one of the guys will come down and be like, "Hey, you think you can give me a ride to Walmart? Let's go.
Let's go.
Get me out of here."
And there are days, even sometimes my family will be like, you're the executive director. Like, why are you sitting in their rooms talking about stuff with them? I'm like, I gotta.
Because that's how it works.
I gotta.
Yeah.
For every 2 hours at the desk, I gotta talk to somebody who needs something else.
And I think that
We're outdoor cats.
I honestly, with the veterans and the staff, but the veterans, I feel like your leadership here you're very respected by like everybody, whether it's, oh, Stephanie's here, or it's, oh, why is Stephanie here? You know what I mean? Either way, it's like, they know like you're the,
Yeah.
the
Well, and
the boss lady.
but they also know I will do anything for them
Right.
if they will do it themselves.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, we're a team of outdoor cats here.
One myth about veterans you want to erase.
Oh, I don't know.
I can't even answer this one. There's so many.
There's a lot. Yeah. I don't know. I just think I think what I have learned, not so much a myth, but for some veterans, their service defines them, and for some veterans, it doesn't.
Right.
And I think it's important to figure out which of those you're talking to. And in that if your service defines you, cool, you serve this country, it's fine. We can go from there. And if it doesn't, I shouldn't make it about that all the time.
Right.
I think it's such a tough question because,
It really
we've
is.
always been in war.
Yeah.
225 years as a country started with war, and there's one you can point to in every generation. And so I would say each generation of veterans has their own box that they get put in,
Exactly.
more so than a myth
And
about all of it.
honestly, I mean, even for me being a veteran, it's harder for me to relate to some of the older guys sometimes. Just because combat's combat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah.
whether you're getting shot at by a gun that was made in 1920 or 18,
Or it's
but
like-
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all the same at the end of the day, but it's just hard to like, even just like some of like the military jokes, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
the Marines eating crayons thing.
Yeah.
Like the older guys don't get that because that was even a thing like after I got out.
Yeah.
You know, so
Generational differences
Yeah,
more than
it's-
service differences.
all right, so we'll go with the last one. What message do you want to leave for veterans listening to this?
One, I would say keep listening to this voice, to any of the voices out there, to as many voices that are real that you need to hear. To get you to where you need to
Real
be.
voice.
But I think two is, even if you don't know what to ask for, I think one of the kind of themes we've had in this conversation is just come in and talk to somebody, then we will figure out what it is we can do for you. You can just say, something isn't fulfilling me, something doesn't feel right, I'm missing something. I'm gonna go hang out at the vet center.
I mean, I can tell you, me personally, I wish I found this place 20 years ago.
Yeah,
It would have been, but
but you found a different one, right? You lived at the DAV for a while.
yeah, short period of time, yeah.
And all of our organizations are, if you had found MVOC 20 years ago, it wouldn't have been this MVOC.
True. Yeah.
And I think, yeah, we got a couple guys in GPD that were here 20 years ago, and a couple staff that have lived here, and they'll tell you the MVOC that they knew years ago isn't who we are now. So,
I've only heard stories, but yeah, no, I don't.
so I guess that maybe if you're listening and you knew us, or you think you know, but you have no idea. If you knew us years ago and you don't know us now, come see who we are now. Because we are different, and we've always been wonderful. I don't wanna, crap on that. But I do think we've done a really good job at adapting over time.
Yeah.
To,
I mean, I've even seen changes in 2 years since I've been here.
yeah,
So I can't, I can't imagine like the growth.
Yeah.
It's just, seeing it. I mean, I see it now, but you know what I mean?
but even, before me, I think the longest serving executive director in quite some time, and I've only been here 5 years. And so the folks before me all were 2 to 3 years max. It's a high burnout job.
Yeah. Which is also understandable
Absolutely.
as much as I love it. Sometimes I'm like, can I get a day?
And we all,
Can I get a tattoo?
can I take Friday off to get my hair done, and then it didn't happen. But we all need it, right? But I think that constant turnover of leadership is tough, man. And so the longer that I can stay here and stabilize, I think the better off we'll all be.
Okay. Cool. Well, I think that wraps it up.
Thanks for chatting with me. Do you have a closing message for the people?
I don't, but I can have them.
There you go. All right. All right.
Just when I start messing around with editing. Did you we could find out what that guy uses or whatever you said talking about?
I haven't talked to him yet. I
have had a really shitty few days. So I haven't
Sorry to
gotten
hear
that
that.
far.